Greetings, friends, brothers, sisters, fellow Syrians. How are you today? This is Sirius. My real name's Jason, by the way. I'm not sure if I've ever shared that here. But I'll tell you more about my alter ego, Zagar, in a few minutes. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to put together a short video. I promise I'll try to keep it under 10 or 15 minutes and tell my story, my own Starseed awakening. Seems like more and more people in the group are like asking, like, how did you all know you were Syrian? Right? That question seems to keep coming up. So I figured I'd put together my story and share it with others. And if anybody else feels encouraged to do the same, great. And if not, that's fine too. That's your prerogative. It's your choice. But I figure if we share our stories with each other, it'll bring us a sense of unity more or empowerment by just knowing each other's stories. Sometimes something someone else says might resonate with you or give you a fresh perspective on something. So anyway, here goes. So you guys I chose this location for a reason. Behind me here is a bay. This is Rhode Island, a small state in the U.S. Narragansett Bay is the bay in Rhode Island. Rhode Island's known as the Ocean State. I grew up here. I've got a lot of family here, aunts and uncles and cousins. My great-grandparents originally started it. They came here. This was their beach home. Was not far from here, within 5 or 10 minutes from where I am right now. And a lot of my family members over the years end up taking permanent residence here. A lot of us have boats. A lot of us are into nautical, like boating, fishing, all that stuff, water skiing, swimming, all the stuff. I grew up here with a lot of my cousins, swimming on this bay right here, spent hours in this area right behind me here. Hours and hours, endlessly upon hours of my childhood were spent here. We all love the water. We're, like I said, within walking distance from the beach. It's the Ocean State. I learned how to drive a boat when I was like 5, right in this area, out this way, out here, behind me now. My father would let me just, drive the boat for a little while he was looking at the engine to make sure everything was running fine. Just for a short time, at a safe speed, obviously. But I was 5 years old, learned how to drive a boat. I'm still more comfortable today in a boat than I am in a car, really. I love boating. And again, seafood was big. I could eat twin lobsters when I was 5. My mom would take me out to eat at a local seafood restaurant. The waiters or waitress would always be astounded that a 5-year-old could eat 2 lobsters by themselves. So anyway, other people in my family, again, nautical references, a couple uncles in the Navy, family members that work for Electric Boat Company that designs submarines. Got another cousin I think works on boat mechanics and stuff. So again, a lot of nautical people in my family, a lot of people that just love the water and being on the water. Water feels like home to us. But was I one of the mer beings? Now, I'm not really sure about that. I do love the water, but I'm not really sure if that's what I was. What actually resonates me more, and this is where you'll find out where the Zagar persona comes from Sirius, are the dog beings. At a very young age, I was into role-playing, playing superheroes, comic books, sci-fi, and all that kind of stuff. At 5, again, 5 years old, I think it all started when I was 5. That number keeps coming up. Must be something in numerology that pertains to the number 5. But anyway, yeah, my grandmother made me like a red cape, and I would play superhero, and my identity was Super Sniffer, kind of like a bloodhound who could track down anything by his sense of smell. Now you flash forward, now that's a 5-year-old just playing, fun and games. Flash forward a few years when I'm about maybe 14, 15, I start taking on a nickname. Again, I told you my real name's Jason. My friends started calling me J-Dog when I was like 14 years old, and it just was something that kind of stuck with me. I kind of really played into it. It felt right. It was something I enjoyed and liked. I would, party and, howl at the moon and that kind of thing, roll around in the grass, whatever. I kind of lived into the image of J-Dog, and I kind of fed it and also got something from it too. It just, I don't know, there's something about it that I guess resonated with me. That was for a long time in my teens and in my early 20s, that was my name. I was known as J-Dog. So the dog persona was something that, again, resonated with me at that age. And then I started playing video games. I don't know if any of you guys are out there into gaming, but I'm a big Star Wars fan. Star Wars Galaxies is a game I played for a long time, for like 7 years of my life, and my character on that was Sirius. So the species that you see when you look at my profile on Facebook and you see that name and you see a picture of a guy with like a dog head, the species in the Star Wars galaxies universe, that's like that species is known as a Bothan. And I was role-playing, you know, this character in the species for a very long time, again, 7 years. It began to feel like, you know, a real definite part of me. From a very young age, I don't know if you guys know what Kundalini is. Kundalini energy, something that yoga people feel and experience. And I sometimes, I'm into yogic breathing. I've never really done the posture exercises, but into breathing. And at a young age, I was into lucid dreaming and astral projection. And I think I awakened Kundalini energy at that early time of my life in my teenage years. Still sometimes experience it. So sometimes I get a feeling of Kundalini energy, like a spine tingling sensation when I know I'm onto something. So I started to think at a soul level that, you know, I wasn't just a human being, that I was more than that, and that I had been a dog in a previous life, or something like that. That's why the Bothan species in Star Wars resonated with me so much. And I would have that, I would have those thoughts, and it would be accompanied by Kundalini energy. And so it would feel like, definitely like it was true. This is before what I considered my awakening. I'm going to try to, again, there's so much to cover. I feel like I'm rambling, but trying not to. I'm trying to stay on point here, I promise. So it's 2017, November, as I do this video right now. Earlier this year, I was down at Disney during an eclipse, lunar eclipse. And I had an experience of like an awakening. I was Mandela affected. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but the universe is multidimensional. There's not just one version of reality. There's many, many different versions. And I think that they are all like colliding or converging somehow. It's a process that's probably been going on for thousands of years, but it seems to be going on like accelerating lately because of recent developments in technology with CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, and quantum computers. The quantum D-wave computers are kind of like accelerating this whole process, which I think is a natural process. But anyway, I'm going off point. I'm getting way off point. Mandela effect kind of awakened me to, you know, this reality, kind of artificial reality that we live in, the Matrix, some call it. And then I shortly had, within a few days after that, the Starseed awakening thing. I started to think about Sirius and why I chose the Bothan species in the Star Wars galaxy, and why I chose the name Sirius. You know, it's the dog star, obviously, and that was obviously part of the reason why I chose it, because the Bothan species is like a dog species, so obviously I chose the Sirius name for that reason, but also it's just like a star or a system that I was drawn to, you know, just really drawn to. Always. And I felt it on a deep level within the core of my being, always, just never really knew it until this year, when it really, like I said, really solidified with the Kundalini energy, feeling that, and also experiencing manifestation. In my career, I was in a job I hated, and was really like praying for a layoff. This was in February of this year. This was shortly after the awakening experience that happened down at Disney. When I came home one night, and it was a Monday, I went to work that day, and it was an ordinary day. Nothing had happened. I had just come back from vacation, spent an ordinary day at work, and thought to myself, you know, gee, I guess I was hoping to get laid off, actually, after I came back from vacation, and then it didn't happen on Monday. It happened on Tuesday. Monday night, I went to bed thinking, if I could change anything in my life, it would be my career. I really want a new career. Please help me. And I'm like, not really pray, but like after meditating and like knowing, after experiencing the Starseed awakening and knowing that I have these guides and these spirit beings in other dimensions helping me, kind of hoping that they would help me and get a new career. So the next day, the very next day, go to work, I get a cup of coffee, and then next thing I know, I'm being laid off. And it was great. It felt liberating. I'm free. I'm done with this place. I can move on now and go to the next chapter of my life. Which I'm still in the process of finding that. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm kind of like, I've been taking my time a little bit. I've been working in banking for like 20 years. I realized I hated it. It wasn't really something I was supposed to be into. I was a philosophy major in college. So philosophy is my thing. I got into banking by chance as a temp. Just really wanted something different. So again, I manifested a layoff for myself. It worked out for me. I had 20 weeks severance pay, and then I could collect from my state here in Rhode Island. So it's going to work out. I know that. I know I'm going to find something else. But anyway, that's another point. Again, I'm going off on way too many tangents. The whole Sirian Starseed thing again, the love of water, the love of dogs. I feel like dogs are people. When I look in a dog's eyes, I feel like I'm looking at a person, you know? Do you guys feel that way? You really, there's a connection there. They call them man's best friend for a reason. They really are loyal beings, and I just feel deep within me that I was one before, you know, not from here, from this planet, but from Sirius. And again, I think I've laid out pretty much all the other reasons why. When I immediately heard the term Starseed, I was introduced to it on Facebook, by the way, shortly after the Mandela Effect group that I was in. I found out about Starseed Awakening, and as soon as I heard about it, I started to say, yes, this makes sense. I've always been a fan of like ancient aliens and into UFOs my whole life. Again, probably started when I was like 5 years old. I became fascinated with ufology, and I've been following it my whole entire life. It's something that never went away. And I immediately said Starseed, it seemed right. So I started looking at the different types, and it wasn't long before I decided, yeah, Sirius is definitely the type that I am. Very much into magnetism. In 2010, I started wearing a golden vortex magnet, which gives you increased energy, heals you, cleans your teeth. You drink water, basically water whose magnetic field has been altered. It's healthier for you. It's stronger, like better water, so it makes you stronger and better. I've been using that for like 7 years. I'm very much into magnetism, sacred geometry, and all those things, traits that are Sirian. I've got a little bit of Arcturian too, I think. I'll be honest with you guys, but I'm mostly Sirian. That's just the type that really resonates. And then, you know, the whole Starseed, there's much more to the story. I wanted to keep this video brief, and I think I'm coming up on 12 minutes. So I'm going to try to cut it short. Maybe I'll do another part if anyone's interested. I don't know. But that's just my story of, you know, how I first discovered it. Again, there was a kind of a trifecta effect, a lunar eclipse, being Mandela affected, and Starseed Awakening all at once. 3 things. The number 3, I don't know if you guys know, it's a sacred number in Sirius, because, you know, we have 3 stars in our home system, Sirius. Nikola Tesla, I don't know if you guys know, was a Sirian. 369 were the keys to the universe to Tesla. I'm a huge Tesla fan, Disney fan, because both those guys were like us, Sirian Starseeds. They just didn't know it, but they were all the way. Anyway, hope this video resonates with some of you out there, and hopefully some of you guys will share your stories too, and maybe you want to hear more of mine. Take care. Love you guys. Peace.